Most people wait to feel motivated before they act. But the truth is the other way around. That is, action matters and action creates emotion and not the other way around. All right. Now, this leads to our today's topic that is going to be, as you can see on the screen, that is changing your emotions by changing your environment. Now, this is from the book Master Your Emotion, and we are continuing our series. So, let's begin without any further ado. This is going to be a small chapter, so stay around to get a better understanding of your emotions and how can you change your emotions so that ultimately you can change your mental environment and hence the external environment, and you can get the desired results that you are aspiring to get. Okay, so you cannot always control your emotions. Certain events such as breakup, the loss of a loved ones, or a severe disease can trigger negative emotions. However, you do have control over some events. Do you have daily life situation that affect your peace of mind? What if you could do something about them? Isn't it great? Like, if we can do something about our negative emotion, or like the energy that we are putting in the negative emotion, and we can create it in certain manner so that we can get the, or we can attain the peace of mind. And that's what we are going to understand today. And in practical word, this is the one of the most important thing to have. Okay, sometimes to reduce negative emotions you simply need to avoid putting yourself in the situation generating them in the first place. Perhaps you watch too much TV which makes you miserable, or maybe seeing your friend seemingly happy on Facebook makes you feel like a failure. Why not spend less time in such situation? That means you can like spend less time watching TV, or you can spend less time on social media so that you can avoid the situation in the very root of it, or in the very beginning of it, right? Let's understand with one real life example. Facebook was making me unhappy and I felt like a failure. Author is like giving his own example. So he's saying that Facebook was making him unhappy and he felt like a failure. People in people in my field were killing it and my friends looked so happy. This is one of the very common thing, especially if you are between 20 to 30 years, or even before that in your school, like if you are in 10th, 11th, 12th grade, then these things at younger age also, this is very common. You see your friends are doing better than you in one way or another, you feel like you are lacking behind. Is it the case really every single time? No, right? So let's see what author derived from the situation and how he got the solution from it. Okay, so that we can adapt it. Right, smart people get the solution from others' mistakes, and that's what we are trying to get over here. Okay, Facebook was making him unhappy, and he felt like a failure. People in his field were killing it. Killing it means basically they were doing very great, and they looked so happy, or at least that's what they show on their social media. And this is one of the common, what I can say, thing nowadays in social media. People are showing themselves more happy than they actually are, and that is creating some kind of feeling in other people's head. Okay, the other person is having a great life, why I'm lacking behind, where exactly I'm lacking behind, why I am the one who is in the losing end, and how the other one is getting everything so easily in their life. But is it the real thing, or is it like reality? No, it's not, right? I'll cover it in some other video. For now, let's go ahead. Not to mention the fact I was wasting hours of my time mindlessly scrolling through my news feed. To overcome this drain on my emotional bank, I drastically reduced the time I spend on Facebook. Ever since making the decision, I have been feeling better. Okay. Now, this example shows you that small changes can enhance your well being. If you look at the things you do daily, you'll find activities or behaviors that don't support your happiness. Just removing one or two of these activities or changing some of your behaviors may noticeably improve your mood. And this is a tried and tested thing. I have also done it. So, Facebook is a older thing nowadays. Instagram and Snapchat and Reddit and whatnot, they have replaced Facebook, but the thing is still the same, right? So you can spend more energy, more time into these things so that you can feel less negative about what I can say situation. In reality, the situation is completely different. In social media, it is the heightened positivity. in someone else's life, which is giving you inferiority complex. And this loop, this vicious loops, is creating a negative emotion inside of you, which is impacting your personal life, which is impacting your productivity and stuff. And to not reach this certain stage, all you have to do is cut short your time. That means spend as less as spend very less time on these things. It can be anything. For like here we are giving the example of social media, but it can be some other things as well, right? It can vary from person to person, but you got the gist, right? You may already know what you should do, but it's also impossible. Oh sorry, it's also possible you are unaware of the cost of some of your behaviors on your well-being. And that's very true. Most of the time we are just doing things, but we are not realizing how much it is affecting our mental peace, how much it is affecting our well-being, right? Below I have listed some example of activities or behaviors that may rob you of your happiness, or like take you slightly away from your happiness. Ask yourself whether they are contributing to your overall sense of well-being. So let's see. Watching TV. Although watching TV can be fun, it's also a passive activity which may not contribute much to your happiness. Spending time on social media. Okay, so one of the example, watching TV. Nowadays, maybe you will not relate to it too much because we are not watching a lot of TV nowadays. We are not consuming a lot of content from television directly, especially the younger generation. Maybe the elder generation is still in that zone, but yeah, you got the gist, right? In all the examples, ultimately the author is trying to say the kind of content that you're consuming, it will have direct impact on your well-being. Okay, so that's the gist of it. And there are certain example, but you can have some other example as well, but ultimately you'll realize it's all about the content that you consume in your day-to-day life. You might feel like, okay, this is just fine, you're watching the kind of content. For an example, Big Boss is one of the thing that is criticized a lot and loved a lot at the same time by a lot of people. And similar shows are also there. I'm not criticizing a single show or something. It just the kind of content that you're consuming, it will have some impact on your mental environment, and hence you will start to relate things according to your mental environment. And then you will perceive those kind of emotion from your external environment. That means in your real life also, you'll try to collect subconsciously or consciously, you'll try to collect the things that you watched while you were consuming some kind of content. Okay, so choose very wisely what kind of content that you're consuming. Okay, so watching TV is one of the examples. Spending time on social media. Social media is convenient and it allows you to keep in touch with your friends, but it can also be addictive. Facebook or Twitter can turn you into an addict, craving the approval of others. Now, this is one of the very big drawback of social media. Big time. Hanging out with negative people. Now, few example that we understood, like starting to example that was dependent on the content, but now it is about the people. If you are hanging out with negative people who has like pessimistic pessimistic views about everything, whenever you give them some positive approach, or like you'll give them some idea of yours. Let's say you said, okay, let's do this, which is constructive in nature. Okay, some positive activity, but they were like, no, this is not fun, this requires a lot of work, this requires a lot of energy and everything. So they will simply influence you in a negative sense, and sooner or later you'll also acquire those things from them, right? Okay, I'm getting a call, I guess. Wait a second, this is important. I'll be right back. Okay, it was my knee, so I'll not, trim this part. Okay, let's just go ahead. Yes, so hanging out with negative people, people you hang out with have a tremendous influence on your emotional state. Positive people will lift you up and help you achieve your wildest dreams. Negative people will suck up your energy, demotivate you, and destroy your potential. As Ron said, you are the average of the five people you spend the most time with. This is something that I've heard from a lot of people, like, and I have read it multiple time as well. So you will become the average of or you basically are the average of the five people you spend the most time with. Now it can be your friends, it can be your family members, whatever. So if you want to know about your personality, see how much time you're spending with the people, like who are the top five people with whom you're spending your time with, and then see if they are positive in behavior, if they are negative in behavior, what is their general perception about life, and somehow you'll become the average of them. Okay, so choose the people very wisely, especially when it comes to friends, right? Because we spend most of our times with friends only, especially up to certain age, till the time you're in college and stuff. After that, it will change to colleagues and other people. So, but be very careful with the people around you, like how they are influencing you. Make sure you surround yourself with the right people. Complaining and focusing on the negative. Do you constantly see the negative sides of things? Do you dwell on the past? If so, how does this affect your level of happiness? Ask yourself this question. If you are falling into this category, then ask yourself this question. It, like, doing these things, is it giving you any positive outcome? Definitely not, right? So this is something that you need to work on, and how we'll understand it in the later portions. Okay, not finishing what you start. Leaving task and project unfinished in your personal and professional life can have a detrimental effect on your mood. Unfinished business clutters your mind, feeling overwhelmed or demotivated. It is a sign. It is a sign you may have too many open loops in your life. Example of open loops are unfinished projects you have been procrastinating over, or avoiding people you need to talk to. Okay, this is important, right? These are just a few examples. What about you? What activities or behaviors rob you of your happiness? Now, by this, we are coming to the end of this chapter. Now, this is the action step. That means something based on the workbook. If you need the workbook, let me know. Let me know in the comment section, and I'll definitely share the workbook with you. Okay. So today we learned about changing your emotions by changing your environment. How much effect environment has on our emotions, and why we are trying to change our emotion. We already know about it, because this way we can change our mental environment and hence the external environment. Okay, so now give it a thought, and I'm leaving you with one saying, that is, next time whenever you feel angry, anxious or fearful, don't try to fight the emotion. All you have to do is change your behavior. See why this particular emotion is coming, like in front of you, and how can you get the best out of this situation. Even if it is a negative emotion, then what is the root cause of it? Give it a thought. Okay, don't try to be very, like, don't try to react very quickly. Give it a thought. Be logical in your life. Okay, so change your behavior and hence change your emotion. And thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day ahead. Thank you so much, universe. Thank you so much, Radha Ranji. Peace out.